What's up, everybody? It's your boy, the Italian Stallion, here for another episode of Rebels with a Cause. You know what time it is, baby. It is 9:30 Wednesday night, and it is time for that cause because that cause don't stop when the clock hits zero. Gonna have a fun show for you tonight. Gonna have our panel on. Might even have a guest come on that hasn't been on before. But you never know who's gonna pop up here at Rebels with a Cause. And tonight's show is about it's not a fantasy with money on the line, baby. We're talking some fantasy football today. A lot of drafts are going to get started. I know I've got a big one Saturday night that I'm going to be a part of, and basically, it's for money, and a lot of these leagues are for money. And we want to make sure that we advise you correctly of what players that you need to take, what players you need to avoid at all costs. I mean, there's certain teams that just flat out stink. And realistically, you are banking on a player from doing very well. But if that team is just not very good and defenses are keying in on that matchup, remember, guys, at the end of the day, it's about points. And there's some guys that are going to get theirs no matter what. I get that. But at the same time, when you're competing against somebody that's going to be guaranteed 175 points right off the bat, you need however many points you can to compete. Because at the end of the day, you got to get through that schedule to get to the playoffs. And then it's all about luck of who's playing their guys, who's sitting, and who hasn't gotten injured. And there have been a lot of injuries in this NFL the last few years that has screwed my teams in particular. You even have guys, prima donnas, that are holding out right now that may not even show up. And that might make a big difference. I mean, that could be a wide receiver that's holding out that a quarterback you're banking on. Another thing too is how early is it to start taking quarterbacks? Because if you're in a league with people that aren't really looking at the schematics, you have to really look at the big picture. So we're going to talk about all of that tonight. And also, that chat box, get on there. Let us know what's going on with your thoughts more than anything. And first and foremost, got to give this disclaimer. The views and opinions of this program are not affiliated with those of any other organization or of Knoxville West High School. These are our views. That is myself, the Italian Stallion, two-pair tape, Brian Tate, the coach himself, Mr. Shane O'Mac, anybody that comes on this show as a guest panelist. That is our views, baby. But also, at the same time, we want your opinion. This is just much your show and your cause as well. And your talking points help us drive the show. What do you all want to talk about? And if we've inaccurately said something, get on here and call us out on it. I'll admit when I've been wrong. That's why I always check. Hey, what's the name of this guy if I'm saying it wrong? Or, when were these games played? We always want to make sure that we are giving facts, baby. We're not just giving the opinions, but we're also know what we talk about here on this show when we're covering such a beautiful topic as sports. Also, want to also bring this up too. Got some big announcements that I wanted to make. I may not have created a banner for them, but I want to give a shout out to the best athletic director in the state of Tennessee, Mr. Paul Romero. Happy birthday to him today. I hope that being 22 again feels great. And honestly, we thank him here because he has been a guest on this show, and we really appreciate all he does and allows us to do, and the coverage and being a part of the program, and of course giving pub to the program. So shout out to Mr. Paul Romero. Happy birthday to you, sir. Also, kind of an announcement that I also wanted to bring up. The KOC Jamboree, we're going to talk about that, is Thursday and Friday. Late change. Apparently, the location for Thursday was at Halls and now has been moved to Central High School. So Central is hosting the Thursday games in a last-minute change. I've not heard anything about Friday's games with Farragut. So Farragut will be still hosting the games on Friday, 3 on Thursday, 4 on Saturday. I miss the Neyland Stadium, guys, to be honest with you, but it is what it is. But we'll talk about those matchups definitely on Thursday and Friday when we get to that. But wanted to give an announcement there. Also, this past week, I didn't make a banner for it. Catholic and West did a scrimmage. If you haven't have not caught our show, come on the channel, the Rebels with a Cause. It's on there. Just click on it. It's about an 18-minute post-game coverage. Also, if you missed the play-by-play, Two-Pair Tate and myself, the Italian Stallion, got the first 70 minutes of that scrimmage, and you can follow that at the 332 Studios. Big Fact Sports Network follow at the 332 Studios. They're our sister station. Also, got to give some love to some sponsors very quickly. Got to give some love to my gal Kim Castle over there at King's Chamber. Go visit her on the Pike, man. Let me tell you something. If you need your hair done, or maybe you don't even have hair, go get a nice shave, or go get a wax, or go get a pedicure or manicure. Just get any type of royal treatment that you deserve with 2 tasty beverages. She will give you the royal treatment over there and make you feel like the true king that you are. Let her know Rebels with a Cause sent you. See if you can get you a discount on our behalf, and also support a local small business. And happy 1-year anniversary to King's Chamber, and to many, many more, my dear friend. Also, got to give a shout out to Mr. Alex Thatcher, a class of 2003 grad from West High School. His Knoxville Coffee Company there in the heart of Marble City off of Sutherland Avenue. That brew is good any time of the day. Regardless that it's 90 degrees outside right now, that coffee, you might need it through these long days and so forth, and it'll taste even better with fall right around the corner. Let them know Rebels with a Cause sent you. And also, if you want a little change up, just a different old-time style barbershop with some different things that can be done, go hit up Razor Shop Barbershop at Knoxville. See Josh Finker, Corey. Let them know that 332 Studios, Two-Pair Tate, as well as Rebels with a Cause sent you over there. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let us get this show started. As you know, we have our guest panelists, and whether you're watching this live or recorded, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already. We are up to 90 subscribers. If we can get to 100 by the Bearden game next Saturday, that would make my year, honestly, to get to 100 subscribers. I know we've had some people fall off and haters hate, and that's okay too. But realistically, if we can get to 100 subscribers by that Bearden game on Saturday morning for the live show from West High School to preview the big game, as well as recap the big games that happened Thursday and Friday night, that would just make my day. And obviously to finish it out with a nice big victory over our rival. We'll get to that in a second. But that being said, though, definitely hit that like button. Every show you watch, it really helps the analytics and helps us move the equation with the YouTube channel, and also opens up some other doors for us as we want to expand the show and the channel in the future. That being said, let me bring on my guest hosts and panelists tonight. I know he's exhausted. He works just as hard as me. He's putting in them 12, 13-hour days, maybe even 14-hour days at some points. But I'll tell you this, he still takes the time out of his busy day to talk sports and bring it to you guys. He started off with us as our stats guy. He was nicknamed the coach, and that mantra has stayed because he is our resident coach and a coach for the Carnes Middle School team, as dubbed by our guy, Mr. Parker Dubon. Shout out to you and good luck to you at Auburn this year, young man. But let's bring him on. Give him a warm Rebels with a Cause welcome. The one, the only, Mr. Shane O'Mac, the coach stats guy himself.
Oh, what's up, fellas? What's up? I'm tired, but great talk sports. Real quick announcement. Nobody's busy this Saturday. Our first game is at Carnes. We'd love to get everybody out there. Our first kickoff is at 5:15 for our 6th grade. I don't worry about that team. I don't think I deal with that one. But if y'all want to see me and Keegan do our thing out there, 6:30 Carnes High School against South Doyle.
6:30, you said?
6:30 Saturday.
Gotcha. I've got the draft in Michael Lynn's fantasy football league at 7:30 at Hooters, unfortunately. So I might have to come to another.
Dang it! Come support me first. Come on,
dude, man.
Michael.
I need to make it out there. I do need to make it out there for sure. So absolutely, I do. So yeah, absolutely. So yeah. What's up, Mr. Larry Frank? How are you doing, bud? Good to see you, and congrats on their NFL show. I was part of it, not on camera, but contributed to the chat box. They debuted 8 to 9 on Wednesday nights. You can catch them before Rebels with a Cause on the UTalk channel. So if you want to talk some pro about your team, whether they suck or not, that's the show to get on there. So definitely shout out to Mr. Larry Frank Jr. and Devin Lloyd and the UTalk channel. I mean, they are going hardcore, baby. 3 shows a week. week, sometimes 4, depending on how it works out. So they are
I,
going hardcore. So
I am a little nervous since I'm calling the defense, and I've always been an offensive guy.
uh-huh. Yeah.
So
It's a big
it's
responsibility, but just think of yourself. You played defense, and
yep,
you can put yourself in the mind of what the offense is thinking. So I think that you got a little bit of a
yeah,
leg up on the
yeah. And
competition.
I found out one thing. It's like, how much film have you watched this week? I was like, I don't know. Like one our huddle guys like, we got like 8 hours. It's like, when do you find time? It's like, I don't know.
We find it because we got a passion for it. That's what it's all about right there. That's the cause. That's
Yeah,
what people don't understand about this show. It's called Rebels with a Cause for a reason. That's your cause. And I
yeah,
wish you guys great luck and Keegan to have a fantastic season as
yeah.
always. So,
Right now, he's starting on offense, defense, and special teams, but we had some attitude issues this week, and I don't care if you're my son or not. I'll bench your ass. I'm
hmm
good.
that's
I
it.
ripped into him. I was like, dude, like, just because you're a starter now, don't mean you get to keep that position. So
Some of the best coaches, Shane, as we know, are disciplinarians because there's a respect that needs to be shown, and humility makes you a better player. So, yes. And some of those
oh,
guys never got
I
it.
grabbed him by his face mask at practice last night. You heard a collective
hmm
ooh.
Yep. And he was better for it because I've had that done to me. I had Paul Kirkpatrick at Bearden High School spit tobacco right in my face. Did I cry to mom? No. I just got better. Simple as that. So, yeah, I mean, Coach
For me, it was Coach Mays.
Yeah, Coach Mays. I mean, hey, who could forget Coach Mays' infamous thing at camp? Oh my God, do I have to buy tampons for all you guys at the Walmart down the street? That's when you went to camp away from home,
Yeah,
people. That was a long time ago. So yeah, when
yeah.
we didn't have gray on our
The
beard.
the
So
amount of the amount of footballs I had to learn to catch without a helmet on flying at my face are all thanks to Coach Mays.
oh, absolutely.
And
No,
now I do that. Now I do it to my son.
Yep. Shout out to Coach Wayne Mays. So, absolutely. So, all right. Let me bring on our other panelist tonight. Let me tell you something. He has been a staple of this show. I love that he is on here full time. And basically, I have made him an honorary member of the show as well. He is going to be helping me. And Shane, if you're available, I hope that you'll be there too, that we do that live game day show next Saturday morning. But if you've got a game, I totally understand and so forth. But we want to do a
I
show.
should be available.
You might be available.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so then it might be you,
Yeah,
me, and Carrie doing the show in two pairs absence because he'll
yeah.
be in Nashville. So
This is the only week the MAC is doing Saturday games.
okay, all right,
So
gotcha. Okay, good.
hey, that's 3 days of football though. You got
That is
Thursday
3 days of
Jamboree, Friday Jamboree, and Thursday opening season for the MAC.
yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful time for football in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Oh God, it's here. It's so here. I mean, brother, we're for the games that are happening next Thursday night. They're in single digits now, and then we are going to be single digits when the clock strikes midnight because we're 10
Mm-hmm.
days away from Bearden West. So yeah,
Yep.
but yeah, but to bring on our guy, let me tell you something. When you knew you saw him. It was a big game going on, and that was football, basketball, whatever sport. He's a lover of sports. We love having him on. That smile can brighten my worst days. But give him the love and support as always. Let's bring him on. Big game, Kerry Reeves, baby. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Doing good tonight. How are y'all doing?
Oh, we're doing great, bud. Let me tell you
Long
something.
day of work and football.
This is therapy. This is
This
therapy
is
for me.
therapy, man. This
Yes,
is therapy. This is
therapy
well-needed
for
weekly
all of us.
therapy for
So
all of
yes,
us.
absolutely.
Football's my therapy from life and work.
Yep.
And this is my therapy from football.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Everybody needs therapy from something.
Absolutely. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Carrie, you were a birthday. Speaking of other birthday guys this past week, happy birthday to you. How does it feel to be 25 again?
Oh, it feels great to be 25 for the 30th time. It's a great feeling, man. This last year it's been tough on me, and I honestly there were times I didn't know if I would make it to this point next year, but I am blessed. I am beyond blessed and happy that I made it to 55. I'm looking forward to living another 55, hopefully another 55 years.
Well, I'm going to tell you this.
I'm looking forward to 55 because there's a nice big payday for me coming at that time.
There you go.
I know the backstory behind that, but I'll keep it quiet. So for the purpose of this show, but I will say this, Kerry, you don't look a day over 45. To be honest with you, brother, I would have never even guessed that's how old
Oh,
you
thank
are.
you, man. Appreciate that.
But no, and I was going to
It's the
make a.
head.
But I'm going to tell you this, man. The truth of the matter is that I'm just glad that you're healthy, you're with us still, because I know that it was bleak the last couple of years, and any
Yeah,
extra day that we all get in this life is more than some of our brothers and sisters we've lost along the way. Honestly, not to preach,
agreed.
but I've lost friends that
Agreed.
were gone at 14 years old, and I've lost friends to overdoses and left us way too soon. So I'm just glad you're
Hmm.
still here
Same
with us,
here.
and I hope this next year is way more less drama filled. If you know what I mean, type of a
That's the
thing.
idea.
So yeah,
More fun, less drama filled. Getting
yeah,
back to the way my life was and things are. That's all I want to do. And being a
exactly.
part of this is fantastic. And thank you for making me an honorary member
Oh,
of
absolutely. Well,
of Rebels with a cause.
you and Larry can come on anytime, and we appreciate your opinion. You bring a lot to the table, and you've been supporters since day one, and
Yep.
I want to reward. And like I said, and you can attest to it. Larry can attest to it. We don't bite. We don't. We
Oh
want
heck
people
no.
to come on and have. And I've invited other people,
You
and I
might
know that
nibble a little bit,
schedules
but you
have not.
don't bite.
Yeah, exactly. Come on. I'm a vampire. That's what vampires do. We just a
Exactly. You
little nibble,
nibble.
just a
You
little
nibble.
taste. But yeah,
Yeah.
but seriously, in all seriousness, though, that we love having people come on. We want this show to be fun and have people come on and bring their opinion and just talk sports, because there's so much misery and crap going on in the world right now
Oh
that, like I
yes.
said, this is our therapy hour right now more than anything. So yeah,
Hmm.
for sure. But but let's get it going, guys. I did want to I did want to also make one more announcement. By the way, the this Saturday, um, uh, and is the annual Rebel cleanup that we get the stadium ready to go for the first home game, which will be a week from this Saturday. So usually it's the parents that show up, but I'll say this: if you've got nothing else going on Saturday morning, and you bleed that Rebel pride and you're part of the Rebel Brotherhood, bring some tools, bring yourselves, and we can get this stadium looking immaculate like we do every year. I know that I'm going to be helping Mr. Romero with the ticket booth and as well as the press box, just to get that up and running. So we have just another fabulous year, and our stadium will be ready to go. That field house is almost done, and it's just like just an amazing thing to see where it's been. So and doing the live show from there Saturday would be great, just to show the progress and what it all looks like now. It's just going to look altogether different. So if you've got 9 o'clock in the morning and a couple of hours to volunteer your time and give back to the school and the football stadium, and have pride for our home game starting with Bearden on the 23rd. So, but that being said, let's talk a little college football. The AP Top 10 came out this week, and truth be told, Carrie, what I wanted to ask you, and Shane, you as well, we saw one little difference. The AP writers really love Penn State to put them number two over Ohio State. And the last time Penn State beat Ohio State, Saquon Barkley was there. And that was years ago at this point, unless
Hmm.
I'm wrong. Am I wrong with that? I don't think Penn State
No,
has
I don't
literally
think you're
beat
wrong about that.
Ohio State in years. I mean, and yet you're still putting them above them. And, we love wrestling on this show. Larry can attest to that. You guys can. One of the best wrestlers of all time said, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And Penn State hasn't won a national title in years, and the team that they can't get over the hump has just won their third since 2002, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that, again, I'm no Ohio State fan, but I've always believed you give it to the champion until Texas or somebody knocks them off. And Penn State hasn't proven shit to be number two preseason. Just my passion about it. What do you guys think? Shane, you first, Carrie next. Chat box as well.
I just don't get nothing from Penn State tells me that they need to be where they are. I'd have Ohio State and Texas probably 1, 2, just because of where they are. Clemson, I don't think needs to be in the top 5. Georgia's fine. We all know my feelings about Notre Dame. Oregon should be higher up. Alabama should be lower. LSU, they could be good this year, but it's Brian Kelly coaching, so you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
I don't feel good about Miami being in the top 10 just yet.
Let me tell you this, man. I got criticized. I went on Larry and Devin's show, You Talk, on Friday night after our scrimmage, and there were Miami fans like flat out saying to me, "Oh, you're not a fan," or whatever like that. You want us to fail. And I said, and all I made was just points. I said, listen, Carson Beck is one hit away from being gone, but let's just be real. They have to replace all 4 of their receivers from last year. There has not been a meaningful catch by a receiver that they returned. And I don't care how good their true freshmen are, they're not Jeremiah Smith level freshmen. And the thing is when you get there and you're playing a good defense like Notre Dame and they're stacking 8 in the box, it might be pee-pee pants time. And so I almost feel that the 10 spot for Miami was because of the brand name and that they wanted a sexy matchup for that first weekend to really get the TV going. Am I wrong by saying that? I mean,
No,
you know,
not wrong.
I'm being an honest fan. I love Miami. I wish we could go 12-0 every. No, we're not that anymore. Not that shit from the 80s. Not that from the early 2000s. Not even close to that. And until that Miami proves that, this is just all on a prayer. This is all just banking on just throwing dust at something. So yeah.
I have a hard time. I'm looking at it right now. Like, how is Tennessee 24 and it's coming off a playoff berth?
Do you think it's the quarterback issue?
I think part of it's a quarterback issue because we don't. I mean, you go from Nico, who yes, he was a 5-star, but the offense was dumbed down a lot. And then you're also like, oh, he's amazing at UCLA. Okay, cool. It's UCLA. Like they when's the last time they were relevant? Marshawn Lynch. No, that's Cal. Excuse me. So when was the last time they were?
No, Troy Aikman.
Maurice Jones-Drew,
Yeah.
or Cade McNown that lost to Miami in the Orange Bowl that helped Tennessee get to the Fiesta Bowl to play Florida State that the day of the upsets that day in December. So yeah.
Like Oklahoma, we beat Oklahoma and they're above us. Like
Larry's got a point. Why is Indiana ranked at all at this point? I mean, here's the thing, man. Look, they had a nice season last year, but the thing is now their shit is on tape. And I think that Big Ten teams are going to be better game planning about it. That guy's a great coach. I have said that in the past. But let's just see if you just caught everybody with their pants down underestimating you, because I'll tell you this, Notre Dame gave them the ass kicking that they should have gotten all season long. I mean, let's just be real.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah. So,
I'm not comfortable with Kansas State in there either.
I'm looking at the top 25 as simple put. Shane had a good point. Tennessee's 24, and yet last year they beat Alabama, Florida, and Oklahoma. Florida is DJ Langway is one injury away from Florida being in trouble. Oklahoma's quarterback could be involved in a gambling scandal, which he may not be playing at the time they play Tennessee. And Alabama starting Ty Simpson at quarterback, and he's only thrown 16 passes. And the one game he played 2 years ago, he got benched against South Florida. Let's think about that. South Florida.
Well, Larry brings up something.
3 of those teams.
Well, and Larry brings up something. How about the SEC bias? 9 teams in the top 25. Give me a break. I will say this, 10. Larry. 10. There's 10. Okay, so I'll say 10. This much. I'll say this much too, Larry. I almost wonder, is the name recognition there too for the SEC? And then also, I just think that there's so many unknown teams that they just basically were like, okay, we're just going to put the usual suspects in there because we have no faith that any of these other teams can get better, or they've not shown to make the jump.
Here's another one. South Carolina's in your top 15.
After all they've lost.
Yeah.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
When's the last time they even competed for – I mean, obviously we don't have divisions anymore in the SEC, but when's the last time they competed?
2013, 14, and 15.
Yeah.
when Spurrier was there.
Spurrier's
Yeah.
last couple of years there. So yeah, when they had, I guess when they had Jadeveon Clowney back then,
Yeah.
and those
Yep.
guys. So yeah,
And
yeah.
more. But the way I see it too, the top 25 to me is nothing but a crapshoot because we already got it's going to be jumbled up the first weekend. The
Hmm.
first weekend you're going to see chaos. We're going to see chaos all year.
Oh
Penn
yeah.
State, to me, is the most overrated team in college football. They have the most overrated coach.
Yes.
The last time James Franklin won a big game will be the first time he wins a big game.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. I mean, and then you look at that cupcake schedule. I mean, whew.
yeah, but here's a bad problem for Penn State. They replaced Michigan with Oregon. That's a heck of a replacement to replace Michigan for Oregon. The
Yeah.
good thing for Penn State is it's in State College and it's their whiteout game. They've already announced that as their whiteout game this year because they're at Ohio State.
Yeah. You know what? You know, it's you bring up something that Shane about Alabama. You know, the thing is, and so does Larry with saying that they don't belong in the top 10. I'm going to tell you this.
No.
I said it last week. Jalen Milroe was their best runner last year.
Yes.
He's in the NFL now. And this Simpson kid is a pocket passer. Now, granted, they may have a decent receiving core, but how good is that Alabama offensive line? Is that are some of these players that they've recruited going to pan out the way that they used to pan out under Nick Saban, when Nick Saban would recruit the trenches? The other side of it is, who is their big running back? You know, like they used to have always somebody waiting in the wings, and they haven't shown shit realistically. They really haven't. So I think that Alabama's got a lot of questions to answer because, again, that's not Nick Saban coaching. That's Kalen DeBoer. And they are going to fire him if he brings them another 9-3 season and they're not in the playoff again. So, and it's looking like that'll happen again.
Yeah, if not worse, because like I said, we don't know what he's got. LSU, we don't know Nussmeier, who's his backup in case he goes down because he's gone down before.
Well, and they even said that they had to hold him out on a couple of practices because of shoulder tendonitis.
Yeah, he hasn't played a full season. He has not played a full season in 3 years at LSU.
Yep. Yeah.
There's no
and Joe
guarantee.
Burrow's not walking through that door.
And neither is Jalen Daniels. And neither is Jalen Daniels.
Yeah.
And both of them won Heismans.
What'd you say, Shane?
I was about to say, is it just me or is there anybody that comes off that Brian Kelly tree ends up having quarterback issues?
Jeez.
Do you want to know something that I saw, speaking of LSU? And I think Larry, I don't know if Larry was the one that brought it up or somebody posted it. I swear I saw it on Facebook. But I promise you that somebody said that when Brian Kelly was at Notre Dame, they lost every bowl game that was meaningful.
Yeah, they
did.
And
now that and then like basically now he's at LSU. And LSU has lost every meaningful bowl game. But Notre Dame, under Marcus Freeman, has won the bowl games or the games that mattered with the exception of the Ohio State game and so forth like that, which I found hilarious. I really did. That Brian Kelly thing is true.
Have you seen that Any Given Saturday on Netflix?
It's funny you bring that up. One of my best friends, Eric Carroll, who's a fan of the show, asked me if I had watched it. I had no idea about this, but I'm not really on Netflix. Now, I have a subscription, but I'm just so busy with everything else. But he told me that it is unbelievable, like 7 or 8 episodes behind the scenes of SEC football, that it's worth a watch. So
yeah, I've been watching it, but it's like listening to Brian. The ones that bugged me the most listening to were Brian Kelly and Shane Beamer.
And there's no more pressure on any coach that first weekend than Brian Kelly.
Yep.
You've lost 3 high-profile season openers, 2 to Florida State and 1 to an underachieving USC team without Caleb Williams last year.
Yeah. And they ended up being a shitty team anyway. Keep going, Kerry.
You lose to Clemson, and if it gets bad, he's in trouble. He will be in major trouble. You don't lose high-profile games in the SEC, especially when you're in the most talent-rich state for recruiting in America is Louisiana. More blue chippers come out of Louisiana than anywhere else in the country. You lose to Clemson, after you've lost to Florida State. That's 3 losses to the ACC in 4 season openers. That's not good.
Yeah.
When you're
Well,
supposed to be better than the ACC and you come out and lay another egg, that's not good.
Well, and here's the other thing too. Clemson has made a name for themselves winning those first opening games against SEC teams.
Against
Georgia,
SEC.
I mean, they have.
Except for the Georgia.
Yeah. I mean,
Yep, they have.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm just saying that is something to keep in mind, and old Howdy Doody Dabo would love to just utilize that as a feather in his cap again. Oh jolly, we're top 3 again. Just that old shucks mentality. I can't stand him, and that's the one thing me and Paul Feinbaum agree on, that there's something there with that guy. Sorry if there's any Clemson fans, but truth be told, like there's just something about that guy, and the minute he gets to Alabama, it's like, just
we know he's auditioning for Alabama.
He is.
He's auditioning, and we know it.
Yep. So, for sure. Yep.
But I'm telling you,
the
top 25 is a crapshoot because we really don't know what you're gonna get.
Yep, absolutely.
We know Texas and Ohio State's gonna be a banger. We know that's gonna be a banger.
Yeah.
I can't guarantee the others are going to be bangers.
Well, and isn't that what's kind of funny is that we've already talked about the afternoon slate of Saturday, and how to watch and everything, and obviously we have a UT bias, but we're going to be kind of keeping an eye on that Texas Ohio State game, on Fox. Here's the truth of it though, is you've got a potential. Again, we laughed about that the afternoon dancers were more intriguing than the Florida State Bama game, but you're still going to watch it because it's Florida State Bama. Exactly. I mean, what are you going to watch instead? Penn State against Villanova on the Big Ten Network? Nope. Kiss my ass. So seriously, you got that in the afternoon, and then realistically, you're going to take a peek at 7:30 on ABC between LSU and Clemson. But the question is, how long are you tuned in for? My point is that Texas Ohio State game might be the game of the day, and it might be a snooze fest the rest of the weekend, unfortunately, just because you got a number by a team that may or may not have deserved that number. You'll find out real quick by the second quarter.
There's an intriguing game. There's an intriguing game that Labor Day night, Monday night. Bill Belichick makes his college debut against TCU, and that's the only game that night.
Yep.
You know how many eyeballs will be on Bill Belichick that
all
Monday night?
Nation.
All nation, because that's the only game. There's no NFL, baseball. No one's going to be really paying attention.
It's that Monday night football college game,
and Bill Belichick is at the center of it.
Yeah,
and the tickets right now, scalping from what they've said, have gone tickets between $2,500 and $4,000 just to get in to see North Carolina against TCU.
Don't see Bill Belichick transitioning back. I just don't see it.
Well, but I'll say this much for Bill is like, I'll tell you one thing. If they are even remotely successful, because I was having a conversation with somebody about this, and I said that, the ACC is such trash. I mean, realistically, if North Carolina does catch lightning in a bottle and they somehow do beat Clemson because they do play midseason or what have you,
at Chapel Hill.
At Chapel Hill, too. And that is a little house of horrors for some teams. I mean, honestly, and I'm just saying that, like, realistically, it's not that far-fetched that he could do it. And again, it just kind of just shows that when you can coach and again, could he transition? Could it be a fail out, flat fail? Sure, it could. But I will say this much. Look at the revenue that it's generated and the buzz. I mean, that in itself is the gold that they're paying.
And just got an endorsement this week from Tom Brady saying that those kids will be NFL ready.
Yeah.
They will win at least 7 to 9 games and be NFL ready.
Yeah.
He said because in college he's got the schedule. Clemson's the only difficult game they have is Clemson.
He's going to turn some walk-on quarterback into a slot receiver.
Into a star.
Hey, Larry, I know that you're not on the show right now, but can you imagine when North Carolina and Duke play in football, how Bill
How
Belichick is going to school Manny Diaz?
Ooh.
Holy shit, man. Holy shit. I mean, that's going to be like that's Drago versus Apollo right there, and I love me some Apollo Creed, but if Manny Diaz thinks he's going to outcoach Bill Belichick, BS, man, I'm telling you.
I think that the Belichick issue is going to be more like him handling college kids
Yeah.
because you have to manage that aspect of them. It's not like the
Yeah.
pros where it's like, okay, we're just going to find you.
Well, the one thing
Well,
about
so
him,
far it's
Shane, that
been
you can
good
give him,
results down there. The players really think highly of him and are just soaking up all the knowledge and playing
yeah.
and
Oh
hitting
yeah, I mean,
playing hard right
I
now.
sit in a room with him for hours and learn everything I could.
One thing I think that Bill has an advantage of that we've actually not really kept in consideration is that he is probably relating to the players since he's dating their co-eds or what have you. His 20-something-year-old
Yeah,
girlfriend.
exactly.
He's learned how to adapt and relate to these kids. So he's been prepping for this for a few years. So hats off to Big Bill there, honestly. So
And if
who
and
who
if
would
he
have thought
wins,
a hoodie could attract a babe? So I mean,
This
I
is
could already give you one award. If he wins 8 games, he's the ACC Coach of the Year.
yeah.
hands down, hands
Easily.
down.
He gets to 8 wins easily. He's the ACC Coach of the Year.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And you're right. The only really tough game they have on the
It's
schedule
Clemson.
is the Clemson game. I mean, because that TCU game is an out of conference game, but
Yep.
that's not a banger. That's not
No,
a banger
TCU's not
team.
what who they used to be a
Not
couple years.
under Gary Patterson,
Nope.
TCU. So
Not
yeah.
yeah, they're not the Gary Patterson TCU. No.
I'll tell you this. Larry has a point. Why is Oklahoma ranked? And I'm going to tell you this. I don't know if this story was true or not, but if this Mateer kid from Washington
That's
State
what I was talking about.
is out, like if this is a real thing that he gambled on football, like a Pete Rose thing, he's
Mm-hmm.
done,
He's
and
done.
they're done. They spent $5 million on this kid, Kerry.
Yep.
They did. Shane,
5 million
here's the thing,
bucks.
and Venables. I mean,
His
it's
job
like.
is on the line.
It is because he was tasked to come in and the thing is you look at Texas and Oklahoma, Texas, and again I'm no Texas fan. They are prepared for what the SEC has done. They've done it in football, they've
Yep.
done it in basketball, and they've done it
Softball
in softball and
and
baseball.
baseball.
Yeah, in all the major sports. Oklahoma just has softball. And that's all that they've
Yep.
really had the last few years. I mean, they looked completely. They're not the big fish anymore in the Big 12. They're just
Nope.
another team. I mean, they're almost like Mississippi State level. I look at them
But
in
they
the
got that
SEC.
they got that oil money too, just like
They
Texas.
do.
That's why they paid him $5 million to come to Oklahoma. And
Yep.
now if he's caught in gambling, that's $5 million out the
Can you
wazoo.
imagine? I'm so glad Miami dodged a bullet with that kid because there
Yeah.
was talk of him following Cam Ward, the
Yep.
Washington State quarterback thing, and that would have just been such a Miami thing to do. Just pay for a player that
The
absolutely
old
just is
Miami
stupid.
would have
Yeah.
done it. The
They would have
old
done it.
Miami would have done it.
And they would have kept it quiet too. They would have
Exactly.
they would have made it go away until it didn't matter anymore years
Exactly.
later. So yeah. Oh, look here, that's a good one, Larry. And it might happen.
It
Honestly,
might
It's
that actually might
far-fetched.
happen.
Yeah, if Bill takes Carolina to the ACC title game and beats Miami, I'm beating Mario with a baseball bat. Some shit. I'll tell you this, Mario, if he even gets to the ACC title game, hats off to him because realistically, I just don't believe in it. I just don't. I want to be wrong, but it's fool's gold at this point, and they have paid a lot of money for this. But I'm going to say this much. Ohio State paid $30 million pretty much for that national championship last year.
Best roster money can buy.
And coaches. I mean,
And
taking
coaches.
head coaches from other teams and making them coordinators. Demoting coordinators in back to position coaches that were sons of that program. Brian Hartline, everybody.
Yep.
I mean, Brian Hartline gets Jeremiah Smith to Ohio State. And that's how
Smith
you
and
did it.
Jigba too. And look at the pro receivers
Yes.
that kid is coached.
Harrison's son.
Smith,
Yes.
Smith and Jigga. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. If Bill takes North Carolina to the ACC title game, they're in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
How would you like that? How would that be for a story? To
Mhm.
go from a Super Bowl winning coach 4 years ago. Hey, he's 4 years off of winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And to do it in first year in college, Now nobody had that on their bingo board for
No,
2025. That
I
would
don't
be
think they did. No, they
that
didn't.
would be the
No,
shocker of all shockers.
it would be.
He's got a very favorable schedule.
Yes,
He
he
does.
does.
He
Like I
does.
said, Clemson's the only really difficult game.
And Clemson's known to self-destruct himself. So
They lose a game they shouldn't lose every year. So don't be surprised if Bill
Yeah.
finds a way to get people.
And you know what? And I guess Shane, you bring up something. If the schedule is why Penn State is number 2, then so be it. But shame on them for scheduling basketball teams. I mean, that's what
I
I mean.
know.
Florida International. Are you kidding me right now? Honestly, it wasn't even Florida Atlantic, or it wasn't even South Florida. It was Florida International that they did. Why don't they just do Florida A&M? No offense. You know, I mean, you would have had a good halftime
yeah.
show at least.
Nevada,
But damn.
FIU.
Well, remember,
I mean, Oregon's going to curb stomp them.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Oregon's going to destroy them.
Ohio State's going to destroy them. Ooh, they don't have. They don't.
And then that's it. And then that's it.
That's it. They don't have Michigan this year. They
Yeah.
got very. I mean, that is
They
what.
swapped Michigan for Oregon.
Well, and here's the thing: they've got to go to the shoe. I mean, they
Yep.
can't even win in Beaver Stadium, let alone the shoe or
Exactly.
whatever like that. I mean, that's just I don't know. And
Yeah,
and then they're going to be that boring brand on CBS at 3:30. Oh
exactly.
my God! Like,
you
wow.
think CBS is thinking about what they've given up and seeing what the SEC network is, ESPN. Now ESPN buys the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking parallel. You want to see your players get to that next level? They've got the NFL network. They've got the SEC.
Well-
They've got all the football in the world.
Well, and look at this guy that now owns Paramount, or that's
Yep.
in charge of Paramount.
That's
now.
in charge of Paramount.
He bought UFC. He had to do something, and now with a Paramount subscription, you basically get to watch all the UFC events. And
I
from
have
what I
one.
understand, Dana White announced if that thing really does come to fruition for the 4th of July, celebration on the White House lawn, that is going to be on free CBS that night
Yep.
with fireworks in the background. I mean,
Yep.
so, if you're not watching fireworks or partying, that's something to have in the background there on free
Exactly.
CBS if you got a cable subscription right there. And if the rumors are true, Conor McGregor is going to be one of the fights. They're giving money away at this point, I feel like. So,
They
but it was
got-
a $7 billion deal, though, guys. My God.
$7 billion.
What recession? What
Exactly.
recession? So, what
Well,
money?
Amazon got the NBA.
Yeah.
They got the NBA for what, $8.5 billion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Them, NBC and ESPN.
That's one thing that we kind of maybe touched on towards because we were busy, with the spring and everything kind of going on. It's such a weird dynamic now because we were so used to the SEC on CBS 3:30.
Yep.
Now it's the ABC stuff. And
Mhm.
and then to go into those type of sports like you mentioned, Kerry, you're going to see the damn you're not going to see NBA on TNT anymore. It's going to
Yep.
be that crew now on ABC. Or
ABC and ESPN and Amazon.
ESPN. And then you're going to see Jordan, and then you're going to see Michael Jordan and a lot of the older players on the NBC with that da na 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 na. I mean, so that takes us back to the 90s.
Oh yeah.
Woo! I mean, that's a long time ago, guys. Long time ago. So yeah. Florida Gulf Coast. Yeah. And we ain't even talking Hoop City basketball either from that tournament a few years ago when they upset Georgetown. But I mean, I'm just saying, man, like I just don't know about Penn State. But I will say this much: whoever wins that Texas-Ohio State game definitely has a leg up.
Yes, they do.
And realistically, if I'd be very shocked if one team dominates the other. What do you guys think about that game? Do you think it's going to be closer? Is it going to live up to the 1 versus 2? Texas is already the underdog as a 1.
That's why I think it's going to be a good. That's why I think it's going to be tight and it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And I think with the fact that Arch Manning has already, their family has been said he's not coming out.
Yeah,
he's playing 2 years, and if you think about it, that kind of makes sense. Peyton played 4 years. Eli played 4 years. They didn't leave early, and believe me, they both had chances to leave early, and they still ended up number 1 overall picks. Arch is heading that way, and looking at the teams that are probably going to be at the top of the draft, you're looking at the Saints, you're looking at the Giants or the Browns, possibly, I'd stay in school too.
Well, and I'll tell you one thing that if it holds true, and I hope it does, how sexy will that be, that Tennessee Texas matchup in Austin next year,
Oh yeah,
with all the storylines of Peyton, school against his nephew's school, that type of thing and everything. So, but I will give Arch this though. He went to his school. I know
he
they're
went to the
paying him
right
a
school.
bunch of money.
He
I know
went to
they're
the
paying
right
him a
place.
bunch of money, but at least he doesn't have to like Eli took a gamble going to Ole Miss, having to follow in his father's footsteps, and you look at Peyton did his own thing at Tennessee, So I mean, yeah,
I still believe to this day Eli made the right decision. I would rather try to follow your dad than your brother.
yeah, that's true. That's
I
true.
think dad, because dad played so long ago that it was easier for him to follow that. Peyton had
Hmm.
just played.
Yeah,
To step into Peyton's shoes, especially then after T. Martin wins a national championship. Think of the
yeah.
pressure that would have been on Eli at that moment. You have to deliver a title.
Yeah.
You
That's
basically
true.
would have had to
I
deliver a
also
title.
wonder. I also wonder if maybe, just maybe, if Nick Saban had gotten to LSU a couple years sooner, does he go to LSU? You keep the Louisiana boy
That's
at home. You
human
know what I
human
mean?
yeah,
Type of a
because they
thing
were a
too.
finalist. They were a finalist in the
They
recruiting.
were. They were, and I think Nick could have closed the deal, but
Oh, easily.
Cutcliffe did have the ties to the Manning family, and
Exactly.
that was really what sealed the deal for that.
Hmm.
But you look at it, but again, we've got the matchups, we've got the names. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna
Yep.
watch it because come on, we've been waiting all year for it. And then we're gonna criticize the hell out of it on this show, whether it
Hmm.
lived up to the hype, or we'll even do a segment like, does it live up to the hype, or is it gonna be a snooze fest Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, whenever the damn
I have
game
to be
takes place?
sentimental. My favorite game of that first weekend is not just Tennessee and Syracuse because my mom went to Syracuse and
Hmm.
me in Tennessee. But my favorite game that weekend is Notre Dame and Miami for his
Yep.
sentimental because Catholics versus convicts.
Exactly.
And
And
if
I
you
hope it
haven't
really does live up to the hype. I hope
and if
it
you haven't
does.
watched that ESPN 30 for 30, that's one of the best 30 for 30s I've ever seen because boy, that just tastes so much truth. The t-shirt, I remember the t-shirts. I remember the game in '89. Getting home, I was a teenager. I was at the boys' club playing basketball. We shut the club down so we can all get home to watch Notre Dame, Miami, Catholics versus convicts, the fight in the tunnel before the game, the
Hmm.
fights on the field, the battles after. I still remember so many things of that game, and that's almost 40 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's still talked about. I
And
mean,
it's
it's still
still
talked
talked
about.
about because that
Yeah.
game decided, in reality, that game decided the national championship.
You know what's a really sad part about it is that I understand that both teams did their own thing, but realistically, I think that game should have been a staple every year, even with
I
who
agree.
coached. Like even when it was what was his name? They came in after Lou Holtz, that Bob Davy. When
Bob
Bob
Davy.
Davy, yeah, Bob Davy against Butch Davis. I mean, it should have
Yep.
continued. You know what I mean? Even when dang Tyrone Willingham was there for a
Mhm.
couple of seasons. Against Larry Coker. That would have been an intriguing matchup to see. But
Oh,
but
yeah.
anyway, we've got it this year, and it's going to be the first weekend game and so forth like
It's in
that.
Miami. Is it in
It is in
Miami?
Miami. It is in Miami. Going to be that 7:30 Sunday
Oh,
night game. So
Larry
and
might be busy.
Virginia Tech, South Carolina leads into it at the
Ooh.
3:30 game on ABC. By the way, so you got
Larry,
a double header on Sunday too. So
I got a feeling Larry might be busy Monday morning after that game, one way or the
yeah, I
other.
think so. Yeah.
One way or the
Well,
other.
I've already. Well, he goes letdown of the year. It might be. I mean, listen, I already warned everybody. If I'm not in a good mood when I go in Labor Day morning to
That's the
work or what
reason
have you like
why.
that, it's all good. But you know what? But if I set myself up that I expected to lose, then it won't
Exactly.
be as bad. So there we go. So yeah,
I just want it to be a terrific game.
I would
I
like
just
that.
want it to be a terrific
Well,
game.
yeah, because here's the thing: if it's a terrific game, then that means that Miami at least competed. And what my fear
Exactly.
is that they get run off the damn field in their own stadium, and then you've got even bigger questions to answer
Hmm.
for. in year 4 of a coach you're paying $10 freaking million to, and giving him an endless checkbook to get who he needs to get in there, coaching wise and player wise. I mean, put up or shut up, man. I mean, none of the other coaches that came before him even got this amount of money. That's the sad part about it, more than anything.
And what's going to make it worse for Mario? He left Oregon, and Dan Henning's doing better
Yeah.
at his 2 years than Cristobal did in 3.
Yeah, no one will see me cry. Glad I'm off for Labor Day. Oh, yeah, no, I'm just gonna throw. I'm just gonna throw my usual glass against the wall like I do. I shatter one every season. Last year was the Syracuse game, but anyway. But let's move on to the fantasy football, because I know some people were going to tune in about that, and it's not a fantasy with money on the line. Are you guys in any leagues right now with money on the line? Because I'm in 2. And I would like to win the grand prize in both of them, to be honest with you.
I don't even have time to do it anymore.
I'll be right back.
No problem. So you don't even do it anymore? So
I don't have the time anymore.
Yeah. I mean, well, the truth of the matter is that I got to give this comment real quick. Big titty Cristobal will choke like a back alley hooker on a footless. He's got boobs. He wears a bro. If you like Seinfeld, he wears a bro. So yeah, and old Juicy isn't there anymore to work out with him at 3:30 in the morning sipping cafecito. So yeah, but yeah, no, I agree, Shane. No, it's tough. And then here's the other thing too: there is such a thing as joining too many leagues, because then you get like a player that you want to do good in one league, but then like he might screw you in another league because you're going up against him. So it's got to be like you're not always going to get to draft the same team. Pretty much, you don't want to do that either. That's the thing. That's what makes it fun. But again, who you play with.
Before I was coaching football, I did it all the time. And then as football got more competitive, I'm constantly like, I ain't watching NFL anymore. So it's just been hard to do it.
I mean, that's the other thing too. Well, and that's the other thing too. Like I've had to compensate that Saturday and Fridays obviously are more important to me than say Sundays. But what I do is I set my lineup, and I'll casually, just kind of look on my phone, and I'll be like, okay, all right, let's see how they're doing or whatever like that. And then I'll put it away, that type of a thing. But I don't sit down and watch it. And realistically, the sad part is that I will be watching this year because, the Titans will be on every time, so I can watch Cam Ward. But in the past, the Titans have been unwatchable these last 3 years. That's a fact. I mean, unfortunately. So yeah, I mean, and so, but at the same time, I'm in it for the money. I play with some good dudes, and I've been in these leagues for a few years now. But realistically, I mean, if you look at the fantasy football as a whole, you take a look at who is a guy like there's certain teams that I try to caution people to draft from, because traditionally some of these teams just outright suck. I'm talking about the Bears. I'm talking about the Carolina Panthers. I'm talking about, for a time there, the Commanders were just horrible.
Yeah.
But now you've got a dude in Jaden Daniels, and, he's going to get some guys some work. The Lions have traditionally been a shitty team to not want to get players from, but they now have kind of taken that step forward. I mean, so there's just certain teams that I just stay away from just because you can't trust them. The Dolphins are another team as well. So yeah, Buccaneers, when Brady wasn't there that one season, I mean, that's kind of the truth. It's kind of like a hit or miss. So, but so there's that you have to consider. Look at the player, look at the ranking. But then Shane, what about this? What about when you're in a league with people that just like the names more than anything like that? So, so Kerry, to bring you up to speed, if you weren't listening, like, I was asking Shane, when you're drafting players, there's certain teams you stay away from, so we were talking about that, but also if you're in a draft with some people that maybe aren't in well tuned with football and they just know a name. For example, I was in a league where Peyton Manning and Tom Brady were off the board, and we're talking about like at the tail end of their careers before you drafted the running backs or the receivers or things like that. So realistically, if you play with somebody that does that, you might want to grab a quarterback sooner than later because it may be even shittier pickings when you get to that traditional fifth or sixth round. But again, it's who you play with and if they know football. What is some of your strategies of who you would be drafting in terms of fantasy football players?
First, I see who I'm playing with.
Yeah,
I look at the guys I'm playing with and how knowledgeable they are. If they're pretty knowledgeable, because I'm pretty knowledgeable myself, I'm gonna go with with who I know.
of course.
And then I always look for diamonds. I look for diamonds in the rough. I'll start with a couple people that I know, and then I'll start looking for a diamond in the rough. Someone that could be up and coming. Take a chance on one of them, and then go back to finding out who's left of the known commodity. And usually that's how I ended up with pretty good fantasy football teams because I pick who I know first, go for some diamonds, little lay low. I look for low numbers because when you find low numbers, they can rise up really quick. Some couple of games it takes and rises them up. And then I look at the waiver wire. About midway through the season, I look at the waiver wire, see who's on waivers.
Hmm.
And if it's somebody really good that is injured or somebody like that that's just coming back, I'm gonna grab them before somebody else grabs them. Because usually
Absolutely.
it'll take a couple of games for that injured person to get back into the swing. But once they get back into the swing, you ride. That's who you want to ride with.
Yeah. Shane, what about players
That's my
that
strategy.
well,
That's my
Shane,
strategy.
what about players that traditionally are made out of crackers pasted together with milk and can't even make it past week two? What do you think about those people? Honestly, like that. I mean, they're a
Ooh.
hangnail
I
puts
I
their
would
ass on IR. I mean,
I
honestly.
would get them early.
Yep.
What I would do, I would get them early before I knew like the mid-season injuries would kick in. Get a couple points, like all right, I'm good, and then straight to my waiver.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. That's
yeah.
another good
Because you
strategy. I
can't
like that
count on
too.
them. That's a great strategy, Shane.
Hmm.
That's what I need to do. I mean, because there's not even a guarantee if they get back from IR. You
Yep.
Exactly.
know, I mean, they're concussion and all that. I mean, shit. Like it's just a crapshoot
What I
sometimes.
always thought would be funny was like you'd see somebody like they draft a whole bunch of big names,
Hmm.
but then they all have the same bye weeks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. The bye week, man. I mean,
It's huge. It's
Because
it
absolutely
is.
huge.
like usually, oh, I'm just drafting the name. Like you gotta look at the schedule. Like
Yeah.
there's been times where I put people out because like oh they'd have like Derrick Henry and what was probably earlier than that. Let's just say Derrick Henry and
We'll go
uh,
Tom Brady. We'll go Tom
Saquon
Brady.
Barkley both.
Yeah.
You got both of them,
Yeah.
and they both have the same bye week. Like, well, guess what? I'm about to blow your ass out because they're going to both be running backs.
Oh yeah, yeah. Or what if you do take two players on the same team? I mean, one year I had Reggie Wayne and Peyton Manning. So if the Colts were by, that's the hookup that's gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Type of a thing. So if you draft multiple players from a team, you're running a risk that
yeah.
they're going to be out that week.
There
What's your
was one.
backups?
There was one year my receiver was on the same team as my defense. And I
Oh
was
wow.
like,
Wow.
That's
man,
another thing I like looking at. I look at bye weeks. The earlier the bye week is better for you in the long run.
Hmm.
You
yeah,
don't want late bye weeks
Yeah. Yeah.
because especially if you're going for the playoffs, a late bye week will hurt you big time.
Uh huh. Oh yeah.
Always look for the early weeks. I try to look for bye weeks because the first bye weeks normally don't happen until week 3 or week 4.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
start with there, and I go between week 4 and week 6.
Well, and Kerry, you brought up an interesting point just there. That what about the teams that are going to be traditionally good that have secured their playoff spots and sit these
Mhm. And
studs
sit
because
studs.
it's no worth, And let me ask you this, Shane: do you do the wire waiver then at that point? Because at this point, you're in the playoffs, but you got to win. I mean, you're close to winning your league.
yeah,
That strategy, you can't bank on the guys that got you there because they may not even be playing themselves
Mhm.
because they're playing for something bigger.
Yeah. Especially at the end of the season, like you really just got to manage what you're doing.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Like, you can't constantly go with the big names every single time. Like, give you some guys that you know, but get you finding a solid backup at
Hmm.
every
Yep.
position. You have them ready.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, and here I got another one for you guys. So we're talking about the injuries. We've talked about bye weeks. We've talked about players, okay. What about this one? What about the scenario of these the old mantra, you always wait to pick a kicker at the end. But I'm going to tell you this, there are some kickers that are booting 50 something yard field goals. That's 5 points right there, guys.
Yep.
And if it's a team that kind of shits the bed in the red zone, but they're good enough to get across the 35 rather,
Yep.
that's 5 points automatic, especially if they're a great kicker. And
Well, heck,
it's
it's
like
not even the 30 anymore. It's most likely the 40 because you got some
40
kickers
with
that
this
can kick.
Jaguars kicker just kicked a 70-yarder. I mean,
Yep.
and I mean are they going to just leave? Is it topped out at 5 points depending on the league that you're playing in, or are they
Hmm.
going to give him the full 7? I mean, what
Exactly.
is it? So at this point,
I would
but
say my
I'm
kicker, probably like my 5th pick. No matter where I
Okay,
go.
that's not bad.
it's not horrible because look
No,
at
it's
some of the
not.
kickers that are
Like,
out there. The guy from the Ravens was unbelievable for years. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
like if I was gonna pick a kicker this year, I'm picking Dallas's kicker.
Yeah, Aubrey. I'd pick
Yeah,
Dallas's
I would,
kicker
I would,
too.
I would go with him just
Mhm.
because it's what Dallas's offense does.
Yep.
Yep.
If Dak goes down, you got overthrow Joe. I mean, love Joe Milton, but he's going to overthrow. If you're in field goal range, man, go live off that kicker.
Yeah, and Tucker's lost Tucker's lost a little bit on the leg. He was missing some extra points last year that really
Well,
screwed
he's
the
out of a
Ravens.
job. He's out of a job right now.
Yeah, yeah. So he's done. So yeah, I'll tell you one. Shitty team, but I feel that they always get field goals. Jason Sanders for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
He won me a game last year with all the field goals that they kicked, and they still lost the game. But still, like it was. Hey, I've won my damn fantasy game because Jason Sanders made a couple 53-yard field goals. It's 10 points right there. So yeah.
My brother has won his league out in Las Vegas a couple of years, and it's not because of the picking he's like Shane, pick good back. He picked great backups.
Mhm.
He was always prepared for great backups just in case someone was out, someone was injured, they could switch up until the day before the game. So
Yep.
he always looked at an injury report. Always look at the injury report. Always.
Yeah.
Because they release most teams that play on the night before or like a Wednesday night, if they play on a Thursday, they'll release that injury report Wednesday. If they play on Saturday, release it on Friday. Sunday, they release it Saturday. And you just always look at that injury report because you never know what's going to pop up or who's going to pop up.
Go ahead, Shane.
No,
No. Well, all I was going to add to that, Kerry, what a great point you added right there, because truth be told, some of these coaches play nickel and dime to the last damn minute, and you can't.
Yep.
And let me tell you something, when 12:45 hits, if your lineup is not set, I mean, and then let's not even talk about the Thursday game if you got a Thursday
Bill
game.
Belichick's notorious.
Yes.
Was notorious for not putting out the injury report until the very last minute.
Well, and I'll tell you this, Harbaugh's Jim Harbaugh for the
Yep.
Chargers is getting that same reputation.
Yes,
So
he
go ahead,
is.
Shane. What were you going to say though?
I was going to talk about on like defense. Like I'd always look at like who's giving literally like you look at who gives up the least points and who they're going up against. Like I always would see people pick like they go like their favorite team. It's like this is gonna be a shootout. Like if your team's getting up 30 points and their team's and they're winning, but they're winning by in the 40s, like why are you picking this team?
Yeah. I mean,
that's why this year I think Cincinnati's going to be somebody that a lot of people stay away from.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Kerry, because I was looking today at who the picks are based on if you want to traditionally go with who is the tiers. Okay, do you want to know that the number one pick is a guy that screwed me when he held out for more money for a couple of weeks, and it took him a couple of weeks to get into midseason form, and that's Jamar Chase, and they're saying that he is the number one pick to take, followed by Bijan Robinson of Atlanta, Saquon Barkley third, which honestly I think Saquon should be number one, if we're being honest. Justin Jefferson, who had a good year a couple years ago, but he had an injury-riddled season last year.
Yep.
CeeDee Lamb. I mean, again, a lot of potential, but does Dallas have a quarterback that can get CeeDee that ball?
If Dak stays healthy, yes.
Yes, yeah.
Is
because
that
when Dak went down.
ESPN? Is that the ESPN list you got there,
It's
or
actually Fantasy Pros that I was
okay?
looking at. Yeah,
They're good. They're good too.
they
They're
are good,
really
and I
good.
wanted to go with them. Somebody that didn't have some bias involved.
Yeah.
Um, Again, Kerry, when you weren't there, I was telling Shane there's certain teams that traditionally you stay away from, like the
Yep.
Bears, the Panthers, the Jaguars. I even mentioned the Lions at one time, but now the Lions have some good players, and that's my lead-in that Jahmyr Gibbs is like the 6th pick
Yep.
right now at running back.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously you've got Derrick Henry, Nico Collins for Houston. Um, I even see. Is this how you pronounce his name? Nakua.
Puka Nakua for
Puka
the Rams.
Nakua for
He's
the Rams.
he's tough. He's a
Yeah.
stud.
Neighbors for the Giants.
Yep.
Brian Thomas for the Jaguars. Here's another Detroit Lion player for you. Amon St.
Amon
Ross
St.
St.
Brown.
Brown.
Yep.
Ashton Genty's up there. Christian McCaffrey's fallen off because, of course, what happened last year. AJ Brown, with the Eagles.
Yep.
Jonathan Taylor, um,
Mm-hmm.
Ashaney,
Colts. Yep.
Devon Ashaney for the Dolphins. I mean, here's the thing with him. Now he's going to be the guy, and can his little body hold up for a whole season? I mean, that's
Yeah.
one
Can he
thing.
stay healthy?
Can he stay healthy? Drake London for the Falcons. Josh Jacobs for Green Bay. Brock
Mhm.
Brown. No, sorry, Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers, the big tight end from Georgia.
He's
George Kittle.
rising up big time in the fantasy bit. Brock
Yep.
Bowers.
I'll
Watch
tell
that
you.
name.
I'll tell you a receiver
people.
that I knew was fire back in the day, and he's got that kind of. He's a little bit bigger than Julian Edelman, but he's got that look about him. Lad McConkey.
Yeah.
Yes, he's going to be a stud this year. Josh Allen is the first quarterback that I saw, Kerry, and that's
Oh,
at
yeah. I
25,
believe
by the way. That's at 25.
That's at 25. Yep.
Yeah.
But he's the
Followed
first
by
quarterback.
Followed by Lamar at 26. Then you're talking about your Bengals, like you talk about the Bengals players. T. Higgins, local kid.
Yep.
Chase Brown. Mike Evans for Tampa. I've never been crazy about Tampa players, by the way, except for the years that Brady was there. I've not been crazy about Tampa players.
Mike Evans is a stud, man.
But he's a stud.
He's a stud.
Tyreek Hill with the Dolphins. I mean, had a bad year. Who's going to be throwing the ball to him if Tua takes a hit, to be honest with you? So
and his numbers have suffered when Tua's gotten hurt.
Yes, big time. Big time.
Well, actually, he suffered too ever since leaving Kansas. Think about this. If he had just shut his mouth and stayed in Kansas City, he's a surefire Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
He still might be a Hall of Famer, but his numbers have gone down drastically. He could have 3 Super Bowl rings, and his Hall of Fame candidacy is sealed. He's been in easily.
Yep. You're right.
Now, you don't know.
You don't. You don't.
Because they've won 2 without him.
This is true. And Shane, here's another team that I've kind of shaded from the past, but I'm looking at this. There's a team that I need to forget the past and just focus on the present. Is the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, you're looking at Jigba, the wide receiver from Ohio State you were mentioning, Kerry.
Yep.
You also got to look at Kenneth Walker III, who was a big time.
Sam Darnold's out there quarterback, and I think they'll have a big year.
Yep, for sure. You've also got Jalen Hurts out there. James Cook is in that tier. Jaden Daniels is in that tier. And even Marvin Harrison Jr., who you mentioned. Is Kyler Murray still Arizona's quarterback?
Still at Arizona, yep.
Okay. So
if he could stay healthy, they'll have a big year.
Honestly, that guy reminds me of Wolverine, to be honest with you, because he's little, but that knee injury is like career ending for some people.
He's never been the same.
Back, and he's never been the same, but he's back, and that's got to be given credit for something.
Is he watching film yet?
Yeah, he's watching film actually.
That's part of his contract, though, right? He has to watch something else.
He has to watch film, so yes, yeah. I mean, here's a name. I think Larry's left the chat, but James Conner, who I thought was going to do better, but he's getting a second wind in Arizona.
He's been slowed by injuries too.
Yeah, Joe Burrow.
Burrow's a stud.
Yeah,
but he's one injury away from people asking him, how did he get $53 million when he's missed 2 years?
Yeah.
He's about one major injury away from people asking what.
Yeah. Here's another lion that's in the top 50. Here's another lion that's in the top 50, Jamison Williams, by the way.
Yeah,
So, yeah. And here's a guy that I would traditionally stay away from. But, man, you mentioned Jaden Daniels, Kerry. Got to look at Terry McLaurin as a wide receiver
let's
option.
hope DC can sign him and get him back in so he can produce for him because
Yeah, this is
because he's
true.
a fantasy stud. Over the last couple of years, he's been a fantasy stud. McLaurin has
Yeah.
been.
Yeah,
He's
for
one of
sure.
those guys you get as a backup. He's one of those
Yeah.
big receivers you get as a backup, and he'll produce for you.
Yep, for sure. Well, let me just tell you this: we got the dude in the house now. Okay, now
The
shit's
dude's
about to get
here.
real, just in time for Rebel After Dark.
Yes.
Listen. You know him as one of the co-founders of Rebels with a Cause, Mister
Yes.
2003 West, for 20 years now, the voice of the running Rebels and Lady Rebels, and the voice of the Panthers and Lady Panthers of Pellissippi State. And he is the founder of 332 Studios. Check him out and follow him if you're not doing it already. Give him the respect he deserves. The one, the only, two-pair tape, Brian Tate in the house, baby.
Man, what's going
Woo!
on, fellas? Man, my bad. We just got done taping. Curry, happy birthday. Just
Thank
a
you, my
true
friend.
legend,
Thank you, man.
a staple, a staple of if there was a big game in the city and Curry Reeves wasn't working it, it wasn't a big game. It
Yeah.
wasn't a big
That's
game.
right.
Like if Curry was there keeping the place secure, like Curry is a very imposing figure. And guys would see Curry and there's nothing's gonna happen.
Hey, Kerry, I need to
It's
ask you
always the
something.
nicest guy that get really tear down the house.
Two-pair, you actually made me ask a question to Carrie real quick. Carrie, how did that work? Like, because I think back to my days at Channel 10, the photogs used to fight for like the good high school football games to cover. We didn't want like the crappy Lenore City versus somebody, like it didn't matter. We wanted like
Oh
the
yeah.
big games. Is that how it worked for you guys? Like did you have to sign a sheet or like what? How did you get to go to the big games? Like, how did that work?
I just basically told them I work anywhere. I would work anywhere to help
And
them
they
with
sent
whatever
them to
they
the
need,
big
and they
game
sent
too,
me to the
He
big
Perry.
went
game.
to every
And
big game.
I got a reputation of being good at what I did, and everybody knew who I was. So bam, once I got my good reputation going, and everybody knew that once I was at an event, nothing was going to happen out of the ordinary. Very few things ever did, but they knew that people would be taken care of. They could watch their event, have a good time, have a great time.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
been lucky enough to see some of the best sporting events that I have ever seen. High school, college, couple of pro games. I've been very, very fortunate in life to be able to see so many great athletes, so many great fans in the store, just to see the student sections at high school games. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Man, that's
Well,
awesome,
And
man.
well,
as long as they had a good time, my job was actually easy.
Mm.
As long as everybody was having a good time, and everybody, for the most part, most of my events had a great time, man, because
absolutely.
the games were
Man,
so good.
Yeah, they were. They were.
that's so dope, man.
Well, Tupper, we're talking some fantasy football, man. Are you in
Mm.
any leagues this year, brother? And if you are, what's your strategy for drafting, man? I mean, because we were talking about you got to consider bye weeks, people that
Yeah.
are made of plastic that get injured right away. You got other guys, you got people that you're playing with that
Mhm.
right away want to draft a big name, and it might throw off what you want to maybe do? Do you load up on skill players to maybe make a trade for somebody that didn't draft well and maybe you get something better out of it? Like, what's your strategy, brother, for the
I mean,
fantasy football?
well, I haven't done fantasy in a while, but my strategy at the time was I would go with the dominant passer. I would
Hmm.
always go like
Okay.
for me for a lot of for the early part of when I was doing fantasy, like roughly around 2016, I was picking like Aaron Rodgers when he was going to get
Yeah.
you a guaranteed, you know, 30-point games
Mhm.
sometimes,
Well, and especially if the yards count, because if you're in a league that the yards are big, I mean, come on, 400 yards. I mean, that's
PPR leagues, you know what I'm saying?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm big on that. So guys that I would always look for would be the LaDainian Tomlinson type players, that could catch well out of the backfield, that were also going to produce well in the rushing game. So guys like Saquon Barkley would be high on my list. He would be very high. I want to say he played with the Chargers, but I want to say he's with the Commanders now.
Austin Eckler?
Yes. Fantasy stud.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because what he's going to give you in the passing game and in the running game. A guy that I would look at very highly would be like a Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
You look at guys that can score running the ball as well as throwing the ball.
Very good point. Jaden Daniels is going to be in that category now.
Yes.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Josh Allen's high on that board. But a lot of those guys, they have the ability to score touchdowns with their legs. So that's why in fantasy, it's kind of like a double bonus. If he throws one and he runs for one, it helps you out. But guys that tend to I forget about. What if you would have had Puka Nacua as a rookie on your fantasy league?
Ooh.
Holy shit!
You know what I'm saying? With the rookie year he had, nobody knew that coming out of college. But you draft him last year, and he's missing the first 6-7 games of the year. So it's kind of like a draft or not.
Yeah. I think people are going to maybe think of my Miami bias or whatever like that, but I am going to draft Cam Ward. I'm going to take a chance on him. I am at quarterback. I want to see.
I think he's going to have a good year.
I mean, he's going to be the guy. Well, and here's the other thing too. What about the fact that him and what's his name, the boy from Alabama that plays receiver for them, the Titans signed. They have great chemistry already and have been hooking up. What's his name for the Titans? I'm sorry, guys. Shoot, I should know this.
I thought he looked pretty good Saturday night. I thought
he did too.
I thought he looked really.
Calvin Ridley. Sorry, guys. Calvin Ridley. I couldn't think of his name. Calvin. Yeah. I mean, he's getting a whole other chance to prove himself as the Titans as wide receiver one, and they've been tearing it up.
So. I was impressed with him. I had a chance to watch Shador's whole game, Shador Sanders' whole game Friday night against Carolina. He was very impressive. Looked like the moment wasn't too big for him, and him and Cam Ward both looked like they were in control. You just saw a calmness and a control on both of them. Like they're going to be fine.
By the way, we talked about Texas and Arch Manning. I'm just going to say this, guys. Let me just say this. Yeah. There was nobody worse in preseason football in their quarterback debut that got drafted than Quinn Ewers for the Dolphins.
Yeah, he
stinks. I mean, he was absolutely awful. I mean, and I'm thinking to myself, this guy is one Tua concussion away from being your quarterback, Miami. I mean, oh my God.
What is he, 5 for 18, and both of his throws were nowhere near the receiver.
He threw it, and it's like the backup on the bench that had taken his helmet and shoulder pads off caught the ball.
Hold on.
And I'm, who are you throwing to? Quinn Ewers, the mullet himself from Texas, man. Honestly,
he's playing for the Dolphins.
The Dolphins drafted him in the 7th round, 2-pair.
Wow.
I'm sitting
there. Can you imagine?
I saw some of them highlights, and I just went, wait a second. I still remember 2 years ago when they went to Alabama, he was throwing dimes. He was torching Nick Saban's defense, and he gets out here to the end and this?
Yeah. And that was my whole point. That was my whole point with him.
He great against Alabama.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And actually, for a moment, I was excited that they drafted him, and I thought to myself, well, he might indirectly get some time because of Tua's injury problems. Right. But then, let me just tell you this, though, guys. That was atrocious. And then I'm thinking to myself, Miami, if you wanted a quarterback that bad, I know for a fact you could have taken Shador. I know for a fact you could have gotten him. You had a pick in the 5th round, and the damn Browns took 2.
They had picks in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
I mean, they are so bad. They stink so bad. I mean, they might not even win 4 games this year. I guarantee that.
And as a Bill fan, that makes me happy. That makes
Well,
me
of
happy
course,
as a
yeah.
Bills
I
fan.
mean, because those used to be legendary battles when it was
Yep.
Shula versus Levy.
And
Now it's
Kelly
like,
versus Marino.
I mean, this is like Drago versus a Big Chuck Dud or whatever. Like
Josh
that's like,
Allen's what 10-1.
such-
Josh Allen's 10-1 against them.
But you
Oh.
look at what Miami is become, and you see that they're getting a little antsy because there's been nothing with this team in the playoffs. Like
nothing.
nothing. Like
Nothing.
they
They got
lost
shut
to
out in
Kansas
that
City.
cold game against the Chiefs
They
a
lost
couple
to
years ago.
Buffalo. It's like they go to the
Horrible.
playoffs to get beat.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a point where Miami's going to look at Coach McDaniel and they're going to come to a head and say, when are we going to win a playoff game? And if that doesn't happen this year,
I think he's the first coach to be fired.
I agree with that.
At some point,
and I think he's an excellent coach. It's just he's not won a playoff game.
He's a better coordinator. He won't be out of a job long. He's an excellent offensive coordinator. That's one thing he does have is a terrific offensive mind. Somebody will hire him as a coordinator easily.
Shane, I wanted to ask you this. What do you think about the fact that the Dolphins have not done shit in they haven't been to a Super Bowl in 40 years, number one. Number two, they're still the most popular sports team in Miami, yet all the other pro sports teams have won championships in their respective leagues since that appearance. Multiple.
That doesn't make sense.
I mean, the Marlins, who are horrendous, have somehow found a way to get to 500 in baseball and can't get 800 fans in that stadium. But still, that's more at least, encouraging for a team that spends no money and those players end up being Yankees or Red Sox players, within a year or two. They're a farm feeder for them, all the time. But the Dolphins still sell out on Sundays with their fan base. And obviously the Buffalo fans that retired go to those games, the Jets fans that retired, and the Patriots. That's the one advantage of those teams, that you get to see and root for your team down in Miami in a nice warm atmosphere when that
just laugh because you're right. Dolphins been 40 years. What's the Heat won? 4 titles. The Panthers have
three titles, been to 5.
And the Panthers have won what?
2.
4?
Panthers have won 2, but have gone to 4 Stanley Cups.
4 Stanley Cups, 1, 2.
And the Marlins even beat the Yankees in a World Series.
And the Marlins have gone to 2 World Series and won both World Series.
They won 2 World Series.
Yes.
They've got, 97 and 03.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And
so that's what I'm saying, that the Dolphins have not won
since 72.
Super Bowl since 74, because they did won the 74 one, but they've not been to a title game or the Super Bowl since the 84 with Montana versus Marino in Marino's second year. 40 years, guys.
And what about Canes football? How many have they won since
5 national championships, 5 actual championships, 9 appearances since then.
Should have been 6.
That's sick.
Yeah. So that's, but that fan base spends money on merchandise, goes to these games, and they're not cheap. Parking,
hell no.
Do you know that somebody told me that to go to a UT game now for a family of 3, and this is for like the shitty game, like against ETSU or something like that, you're looking at $500 minimum.
Yep.
I probably will not go to a game this year.
I mean, yeah. And that's for 3.
I don't remember the last time I went. I didn't go to a game. I at least go to one a year.
Yeah.
I used to be a season ticket holder.
Yeah, I think it's been 3 years since I've been. So yeah.
I mean,
I take my son to at least one game a year.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's still begging for an Alabama game, but
who knows, Shane? Maybe you might get lucky and Michael can't go to one and you get the ticket again or something like that. You never know. He'd hook you up. He'd make sure that you and Keegan win.
No, everyone but my son's been to an Alabama game. So my girl's been. When I was married, my ex-wife went. Actually, take that back. My ex-wife never made it to an Alabama game. She always had to work, so I'd take one of my daughters. Because my son Keegan was just too little at the time, and the girls know I had to worry about carrying them. Like he had to take like orange and white game, or like the ETSU, Chattanooga, freaking whoever would come in, Tennessee Tech, those games.
Yeah.
But like, he's like begging me, like, Dad, I want one Alabama game. Like, we'll go eventually.
I went to the 1, 3, and 22. That's the only Alabama game at home I've been to. I've been to one on the road, and the one on the road was in 2001, and that was pretty sweet.
I was
Going to their
campus.
campus.
22 game.
Going to their campus.
I went with my best friend and his wife. And, that was
it was awesome. It was awesome.
I've only cried during 2 Tennessee games ever in my life.
And that was one of them.
That was one of them. And then when we won the World Series.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you this right now. The last Alabama game I went to was when they it was Lane Kiffin's return to Neyland Stadium, and they kicked the absolute shit out of us. I mean,
I was there for that game.
I think that was Calvin Ridley's coming out party.
I was watching on CBS.
Oh my god!
There was one game where Amari Cooper went bananas.
That was the game. That was the game. It's Amari Cooper. I get him and Calvin
Cooper.
Ridley mixed up. It was Amari Cooper. Thank
I
you.
was working on ESPN. I was working on
I think that's what
that night.
Yeah. Was that when we got Dobbs for the first time?
Yeah, I think Dobbs came in and really lit it up.
We saw what was possible.
What could be. It was the start because they kind of showed something the rest of the season, and then that kind of propelled the excitement for the following year in 15 or what have you. But
that's still not my.
Oh my God.
Favorite game of all time still is '98 Arkansas, and I worked that game. That was my first game. That was my second. That was my second UT game working. I worked special events UT as an officer. That was part of a contract we had for off-duty stuff. And I got to work. That was my second game I got to work. I think I had 20 pounds worth of rainwater in 3. I wore 3 different raincoats that day.
Man, that was one of those. That season was magic.
That season was
the Florida game is still the nuttiest game I've ever been to. The Florida game was just crazy.
I watched that Florida game with Jason Day, and just talking about it,
crazy.
I remember everything in it, like watching that game and seeing the aftermath because it had never happened, and then the storming of the field, and
the goalposts.
It felt like felt like Tennessee won the national title that night in Knoxville.
Well, and truth
the CBS camera the CBS camera ended up in the Tennessee River. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Well, and you want to know this? The scary thing is we almost played them in a rematch again because if Florida State doesn't beat them that last game, we could have played Florida again in that national title. Yeah, because what happened was, if you remember those last few weeks, Nebraska lost, UCLA lost to Miami. Kansas State lost to A&M. And Brandon Stewart, who had come in with Peyton Manning, transferred to A&M and helped Tennessee. Yeah, and so basically, Florida State by beating Florida got to play Tennessee, and of course, Winky wasn't quarterback; it was Marcus Alston, the Rooster. So
people forget how good those teams were. Like that Florida team with Travis McGriff. Travis Taylor and all those guys.
Fred Taylor and
Fred Taylor too.
Yeah,
they had Travis Taylor, the wide receiver.
Yeah. They had who was it? They also had Javon Curse was their defensive. That was their linebacker. For goodness sakes, the freak. I mean, Florida was so loaded.
And then UCLA with Cade McNown.
Yep,
that group.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's who I was worried about. I was hoping we wouldn't play UCLA for a national championship because that would have been a shootout. I don't know if we would have won a shootout with UCLA.
Well, here's the thing.
UCLA was tough though.
That's the thing. And
but that's the thing. Miami out toughed them. Miami out toughed. Miami had no defense, but Edger and James had like 300 yards.
Yeah,
that's how Edger and James got drafted because of that game. Honestly, so yeah.
Well, he had a phenomenal year that year.
He did. But Ricky,
that game,
that game will put him on the map.
Magnitude of that game,
yes,
that was because the week before that
they got
that
trounced by Syracuse. 66-13, and Donovan McNabb.
That was his coming out party.
Yep. So.
And then Kansas State, they should be thankful that they lost because we would have annihilated Kansas State.
Because realistically, all they had was Michael Bishop. They just had Michael Bishop.
And once you shut him down,
and then people don't forget this. That Kansas State team lose to Drew Brees in the Alamo Bowl
With Purdue, right after. Yep, till they lost to Drew Brees and Purdue.
He lost to Brandon Stewart from Texas A&M. Did he lose this to Drew Brees?
Yeah.
Ooh, and you never heard of Michael Bishop ever again after that.
Exactly.
So you didn't.
Well, he did go to the Patriots.
He did. Kansas State had this thing where they had a perfect quarterback for their system. Got to give Bill Snyder credit. You had him, L. Roberson, if you remember L. Roberson.
L. Roberson,
and Darren Sproles.
Darren Sproles.
Yep. So they always had like that quarterback that would give them that 10, 11 win season. They just
Michael
could never
Bishop was
get
so
over
good
the hump.
He was tough.
Michael Bishop was tough. But it's just saying, that effect, it's very hard to have one of those magical seasons like that team did, that 98 team. And
you get some luck along the way, too.
Not just talent. Guys like Billy Ratliff, Al Wilson, like Sean Bryson. There's a lot of guys that are unforgotten heroes, like the Mickey Allens of that team that played well, the Mercedes Hamiltons, the Spencer Riley.
And Two-Pair, you bring up such a big point, because do you remember how everybody was kind of like, we knew we had talent, but at the same time, you lost Peyton Manning, you lost Marcus Nash, you lost Leonard Little. Those names had been staples and had all been playing since their freshman years.
Jonathan Brown.
Yeah.
Jonathan Brown.
Exactly.
Very underrated.
And then
tackle.
Jamal Lewis, gets hurt game 4, and then Travis Henry and Travis Stevens take over the rest of the year. They carry the team the rest of the year. So
Sean Bryson.
Yeah, I still believe Jamal Lewis was on his way to. I think he was on his way to a Heisman. Jamal Lewis, if he doesn't get hurt in that Auburn game.
I'm going to tell you,
he was definitely in the conversation.
If Jamal Lewis doesn't get hurt, the Arkansas Sterner stumble doesn't happen, because no disrespect, I think that they keyed in on Henry. It was a slop fest. We really couldn't throw the ball, but you have another workhorse like Jamal Lewis. I mean, come on,
And the killing part is, after that game, the passing game really clicked. After that game, T. Martin went on a tear.
Yeah, he almost went perfect against South Carolina. Remember?
But how good was
he? Was like 15, 16, or 16, 17 on that one?
Would you believe he actually got to 21, Shane?
21.
Before
he had NCAA record.
Yeah, he still has the record. He
does. He still has the record.
He only missed one pass that entire game, from what I
24 for 25, I believe.
23, 24, 25. Yeah, he was slinging it. And we weren't talking short passes. He was throwing to Peerless and Jermaine Copeland was the other receiver at the time. So Cedric Wilson was making his name.
Cedric Wilson,
amazing,
man.
So,
Peerless Price.
Price. Yep, Jermaine Copeland. I mean, So, and Jermaine Copeland was a backup quarterback before he went to wide receiver. I mean, think about that.
Harriman
Lex. Yep.
Harriman Blue Devil. Yep, absolutely.
Man, when I say he's one of the best high school football players and basketball players this state has ever produced.
Yep, it's true.
He's got to be in the top 5.
That's true. Jermaine
Copeland was arguably one of the most impressive players we've seen in the state.
Absolutely. Well, guys, let's talk about this KOC Jamboree. Two-Pair, I don't know if you heard or not, but they, at the last minute, have moved the Thursday game site from Halls High School to Central. I don't know if there's like a field issue or what the hell happened, but they, at the last minute...
They need to play in Neyland Stadium.
That's what they need to do. You're right. You're right. Yep.
Just think about what this would do for those kids. This era of kids.
Yep. What are the matchups? Does anybody, Shane? Do you have them in front of you, or
I got them. I got them too.
So tomorrow night at Central, you got Fulton versus Carnes.
Okay.
Gibbs versus Central, and Carter versus Halls.
Some interesting matchups there, actually. I think that those could be 3 competitive games right there. I don't know what the teams are going to play.
If I had to pick right now, I guess we could pick them.
Yeah, we can pick them.
Fulton over Carnes.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Carnes.
Yeah.
Give me Gibbs over Central.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And Halls over Carter.
Okay, I like it. Yeah. If I had to pick, I'd go Fulton over Carnes, Central over Gibbs, Halls over Carter.
Same here. That's where I would go.
Yeah. What about you two, Pair?
Who is Central playing again?
Gibbs.
They don't have the quarterback that I really like. Wyatt, he's gone. Give me Central.
Okay. But you're still going to go with Fulton and Halls on the other two games?
I like what Fulton's doing. Though.
I'm going to tell you something, guys. I'm going to tell you something.
It's that Fulton is like I see what's going on.
Yeah.
And
Fulton's dangerous.
Man, Coach Long is really got those guys.
He's the right guy for the job.
Yeah,
give him another year. They might be right there. I mean, they play in a tough league. They got Alcoa and Anderson County.
He knows what it's like to win a state title.
Yeah, but they're getting there. And let me tell you something. They really went to Oak Ridge and surprised Oak Ridge. And Oak Ridge is kind of starting to think about themselves. Did we make this move to 6A? Well, the thing is, they had to make the move to 6A because of their school population.
Yeah, they had.
I just don't believe in them. I just don't believe in Oak Ridge this year. I just don't. I really think they're going to miss 5A. They really had an opportunity and blew it. So, what about the Friday games at Farragut High School, Shane? Let's talk about those games.
South Doyle versus Bearden.
Okay.
AE versus Grace.
Ooh.
Versus Farragut, and Harm Valley versus Powell. Give me.
I'll go for a tie in the first game.
Tie?
Yeah.
For Bearden South Doyle? For Bearden South Doyle?
That's highly possible.
0-0.
Yeah.
I'd like to see South Doyle beat Bearden, but I think Bearden. I don't know who.
Every time I've watched
they may not score.
Every time I've watched South Doyle on film, it's just been. I've watched JV teams throw 20 on them.
I'm going to tell you this. Hedrick has got a huge task ahead of him. I mean, they really have. Yeah, he's got a hard task in front of him.
He does.
I think Bearden probably gets it done because of Taylor. I think that Bearden has enough to get by him.
I ran into him and his wife the other night.
Did you?
Well, because his wife taught my oldest and my youngest, so we were coming out of a restaurant. Keegan's like, Miss Taylor. So I hadn't seen him in years, and then literally like as I'm about to get in the van, I see Brad walk out. I was like, oh damn! Like I hadn't seen him since. Last time actually I really saw him was back when Haley was playing like youth football.
Oh wow!
I've known him and Kinsey for almost 30 years.
Yeah.
So we go back. Yeah, and Kinsey's been teaching at West Hills Elementary for about almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's a staple. She's a staple over there.
That's something special to be at one school for that damn long. She's a
staple.
Shoot. Yeah.
I'll know. I'll see. Yeah, because she taught my daughter 4th grade and my son.
Have you seen Tyson? Oh dear God, kid is bigger than Brad.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
And just turned. I think he just turned 16. I think.
Oh wow. Two-pair. Who do you got in the? Who was it? Shane Grace is taking on
Austin East.
Who do you got in that one?
AE's gonna treat it like a track meet. They should.
Yeah.
Because they fortified that program through the youth. Here's
the issue with the youth. Before you get on that one, they bring in kids and then those kids go elsewhere because there's no restrictions on who can play there. So when those kids get to middle school or get to high school, like they gotta go elsewhere. Like the youth program is good, but those kids never stay in the program.
They just have a hard time keeping them there.
But they got this group staying together. Though.
I think Stanton understands it. I think Stanton understands it.
I think Stanton being back is a big plus. I think that's a huge plus.
Like state championship winner.
Mm-hmm.
And the guys that what I'm talking about, Shane, is the group that stayed together that's coming into this AE school. A little different than the normal groups. Like this group is actually in around each other though.
The group that they had coming out of 8th grade last year, they're at Catholic.
Really?
Oh, so that's what we got to see. That's what we got to see. I guess Two-pair Friday last Friday. This group at Catholic that was just outstanding.
I've been talking to coaches, and even their coaches told I guess it was in our like one of our like coaches meetings. It was like, yeah, like took a huge leave of kids going to Catholic. So I mean, film shows what you can do, and Catholics go and get you more to get you recognized. But I'd love for kids to stay where they're at.
I do too.
And we see what these programs can do.
I really liked what I liked the way Catholics play calling was last week. I mean, they put their guys in position to make plays. Tyreek King is elite.
He is elite.
Their quarterback didn't look like he was getting phased, and there was a couple of times where James Sutton was getting like this close. Wasn't able to get that leverage because you don't have Peace being the inside enforcer, and then they just really nullified our running game. Our running game got going.
Raheem couldn't. By the way, happy birthday to Raheem Lee yesterday, by the way.
Happy birthday, Raheem.
And today was Paul Romero's birthday, so I gave him a shout out at the beginning of the show. Yeah,
I gave him a shout out this morning.
So Paul Romero's birthday was today. So we had a lot of guys that we know. I know Mark Giles' birthday is coming up too, so he's an August baby. So he's a guest of the show. The other game, obviously, we've got West and Farragut that
should be fun.
They're going to lock up. That should be a fun one. It's a shame that we're not playing for real. I could see West winning 7-0. I don't know. Maybe 0-0. I don't know. I could just see.
Give me 7-3.
7-3. Okay. Yeah. And then the fourth game is going to be Powell against who?
Hardin Valley.
Give me Powell. I think Deuce might even throw 3 touchdowns in that.
I saw their 8th grade team at our jamboree last Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So the kids will be coming in next year as freshmen. They are grown man size in height and weight.
Hardin Valley's group?
Powell's.
Oh, Powell's. Oh, yeah, no, Powell. Yeah, no, they've got a.
I saw them step on the field. I've got them in a couple weeks, and I'm just like.
Didn't they win the middle school thing last year, if I'm not mistaken, as 7th graders? If I'm not mistaken, they were up there.
Yeah, I cannot remember. I know Austin East won something. I think Austin East won the JV.
Okay.
But
I knew Powell was up there. Powell got honored before the West game for their middle school team for something. So
yeah, they had to have won it, and then
yeah.
We'll say we didn't have a 6th grade playoff at all because there's not enough teams in the league that can field 6th graders. So I want to say like South Doyle may have won the 5th grade, maybe.
Interesting.
But the youth, you can recruit, you can pull kids from anywhere. Like it doesn't like you can be living in my neighborhood and go play over there. Yeah. So I mean, I'd like to see. Like actual, like you play where you're zoned for high school, so these kids can build a chemistry together and play all like you get in Alcoa, you get in Maryville, you get in some of these other communities where the kids in halls, like those kids are huge too. And we've finished them this year. There's 100+ kids on that team. They've all played together the whole way.
Oh man,
I'd like to see that happen in the youth league. So.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of halls, they've got a pretty tall task that they have to play Catholic for real in the season, and that they've not played since 1956, according to the records or whatever like that. So this is kind of like a out of thing experience. I mean, I'll tell you, speaking some high school football right now, because guys, we are less than 10 days away from the Bearden West game Saturday, but it starts off that Thursday with Powell versus Anderson County, which has kind of been
that's a rivalry.
Really, it's a rivalry, like you said, Kerry. And realistically, you've got guys on that team that know, what it takes to win a championship. I mean, you've got some holdovers from those teams or what have you, and they know what winning is all about. And a win like that to start the season, there is something to be said about momentum in high school football. To get a win and you start letting it go. But that game's going to be a big one. You got Maryville Alcoa next Friday night, guys. I mean, when has it been this early in the season in a while? Honestly, I remember that game ESPN did. Remember that one time that ESPN was there? I mean, that was the hardest ticket in town to get and so forth. And when they were at Maryville that time. So, Yep. I mean, so I'm just looking at it from a standpoint that it's here, and I'm so excited for it. And
Right now,
obviously,
here
yeah.
now.
Yep.
Yep.
And two pair, you missed at the beginning. We are now up to 90 subscribers, bud. We are 10 away from that 100, and I'm hoping that we can get
Like,
them.
comment, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, man. I mean, I would love to have 100 by next Saturday when we go live from West High School, and I know you won't be there, two pair, but Shane and Carrie, the three of us will be there, and I'm hoping to goodness gracious that we can get 100 subscribers and maybe even have a few people show up or something behind us. It would be pretty cool if they did, and everything at the stadium that morning, Saturday morning. So, yep, for sure. So, but. Be very, very cool, and we're very close to West Bearden happening, and the jamboree is pretty much the kickoff. And Shane, like you said, it's the fourth quarter now. The regular season is here. I
It's
mean,
here.
playoffs is overtime, but
No, we're third quarter.
or third quarter. That's
Third
right. We're
quarter.
third quarter. Playoffs is the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Championship is the overtime. So, yeah, that's right.
It's just really good to see. Like,
Doing all your work, you made your adjustments. Here we go.
Yep.
It's really good to see like all these teams, man, just been coming together. You fine tuning things, and I know we're speaking about football, but the middle school groups that are coming to these Knoxville tune-ups, it's a new fall league, replacing the old fall league that they used to do. But this is going to be middle school 6th through 8th grade. Yep. And when I tell you at B. Mays Elite, you want to hear some games. Last night was probably some of the best basketball I've watched from middle school group in a long time, and it's really cool. It's just the kids that aren't playing football, come on out the Knoxville tune-ups to get this work.
This is how you get better, man. You got to participate in these things, honestly. You want to go up against the best of the best. So, yeah, for sure. Especially if you're not involved in another sport right now. So, yeah. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Great show tonight, guys. Honestly, I mean, we talked a little college football. We talked some NFL fantasy football. To quote the Hunger Games, may your drafts be ever in your favor. The odds be ever in your favor for your drafts. But and then we got high school football. I mean, it is just here, guys, and it's about damn time, man. I am so psyched for this. And, again, whether our teams win or lose, I mean, we're just going to enjoy the ride because it has been a damn long off season. And, to all the players, I've said this before, the coaches, all that hard work, this is the time to just enjoy it, and it may not all be peaches and cream, but at least you're getting to do something that some people don't ever get a chance to do. Some people don't ever get to play football or get that opportunity to coach in these type of games. And you got to relish every moment you've got because it's gone. It's gone after a bit, and things happen in this life. But as a fan, as a former player, it's just special to be a part of. And, obviously we're partial to West because of our allegiance to it. And we started this podcast first. And I still believe in 3 out of 4 and nothing tells me any different until somebody puts us down. And I still think that Marble City and West High School, 3300 Sutherland Avenue will dictate who wins 5A football this year. I really believe that. I mean, the Marivilles, the Alcoas, yes, we play them. We scrimmage the Catholics. That's not in 5A. That gets you better to be prepared for what you're going to face in 5A. But
man, the Catholics get them dudes. Like, that was
they reloaded.
Experience. That was a humbling experience.
It was way different. I was trying to tell Shane it was different from last year too, Pair. It looks like they have found some dudes that they would, and they're going to need them if they're going to compete with the Baylors, the McCallies, the MUSs, those type of teams, because those guys have dorms on campus. Catholic doesn't have that.
They did. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Sometimes a scrimmage like that prepares you for a season, lets you know what you got to do, just makes you tougher. Sometimes looking bad in the scrimmage can be a benefit because now coach has your attention.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's sometimes, Shane, this It's the best thing that could happen when you got their full attention.
It's funny that you mentioned that about if they had the dorms. They obviously, you can't look 20 something years in the future, but when they moved Catholic high school from off of Magnolia over to the Cedar Bluff area, could you imagine if they had envisioned this to build that? Webb's property has always been there. I feel they could actually do it because of how much property they have and everything if they wanted to go that route. But at the same time, they've never really taken that plunge. They've been content to be with where they're at and so forth. So.
Catholics
I wish my mom, aunt, and uncle were all still alive because they went to the original Catholic.
Wow.
Before we moved out to before the family moved out to West Knoxville. But they all went to Catholic.
And is that still a Pellissippi satellite campus over there?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know that they had the one on Division Street. I know that they had the one, obviously, in Hardin Valley, which is the big one. And then I thought that they had a satellite campus out there off of Magnolia that was the old Catholic high school and so forth. But, so.
But, that the new Catholic out there in West, their enrollment is just, people are they're turning down people trying to get in.
Oh, yeah.
One of my daughter's friends just graduated from there this last year. Like, you got the money, like her parents own like 3 or 4 businesses. But then you got the grades, and then like she already knew, like, girl super smart, brother her, but I'm like, damn. Like,
they got the money.
Dad, can I go to Catholic? Like, your dad can't afford Catholic.
They got the money out. They got the money out there, son.
They do.
Son.
I remember the first time I realized like just how much money those like Webb and Catholic bring in. It was a track meet back in middle school. We're talking 1998. Yeah, seventh grade. And I saw their fundraisers for like $5 million. I was like,
holy shit.
This was in 98.
Wow.
Like, I remember like we got on the bus, got all these bearded kids going in there. We're like, what the hell?
Wow. Well, like I said, it's going to be a great season one way or the other. We've got the high school starting next week. Got a couple of college games on the slate as well. And then Labor Day week, 2 weeks away, man. College football, and then the week after NFL. So, I mean, we're there, guys. It's there. And obviously we're going to talk. Next week is going to be, I'm going to do a post show from Farragut, just something very simple at the Jamboree Friday night. But then next week we've got 2 shows. We've got the Wednesday show previewing the all the high school games and more football talk, and then obviously Saturday morning we've got the high school game day, the game that night. And then the following week, we'll have another show. So, a lot of overtime, a lot of shows that we've been doing. We've been doing 2 shows a week, Pair and I, from the scrimmages. And, but I love it. I love it. This is that time of year, man. I absolutely damn love it. So,
football overload. Get ready, man.
You gotta love it.
Yeah.
My favorite time of the year is just when everything's starting, everything's new.
Yeah.
And judging by this past weekend, when I was looking at a lot of the exhibition games, the fans are ready for football because there were crowds all over just for exhibition games. They were selling out. When Shedeur Sanders was announced as the starter, Charlotte had only sold 35,000 tickets. They sold out in 3 hours.
Yep. Well,
he was announced the starting quarterback, and there were a lot of Cleveland fans and a lot of Colorado fans.
Can I throw this out there real quick? I saw a lot of people on Facebook post, this is the most preseason football I've watched ever.
Yep.
And it's because it's been a long off season. I mean, we're just hungry for it. It's been a long summer. Really has. You didn't have the Olympics. You didn't have World Cup soccer if you're just a casual, you didn't have anything like that this summer. You didn't to distract you. It's been a long summer, and we're ready for football now. We are.
And now we got football to February, then after February, the Olympics.
And
then the Olympics is right after the Super Bowl in Italy.
Yeah, exactly. You got the Winter Olympics.
And then March Madness. I mean, everything is just going to be rolling from this moment on.
It is.
You know how I feel about March Madness.
And
March Madness, I love it, man.
Oh, you know it. Madness. Speaking of March Madness, Friday, 10 o'clock, jump on Ticketmaster because they're going to go quick. Duke, Tennessee
That's
preseason
right.
game on Sunday the 26th or what have you. But the tickets go on sale at 10. I know I'm going to grab me one just to just be in the building to see that classic matchup
They're
because
gonna
Duke
go
comes
fast,
here.
man.
Yeah, yeah. Duke comes here this year. Tennessee goes to Cameron next year for the script.
Uh
It doesn't count, but it will be on TV. So
is it
yes,
UT Ticketmaster? Is it Ticketmaster for UT?
Ticketmaster. Yeah, Ticketmaster. Yep, yep. So
All right.
that's what I'm going to try to jump on and just grab a nosebleed for $45 if I can. So
Heck
yep,
yeah.
simple as
That's
that.
a
Hey
bar.
guys,
That's
I got to jump off here. I'm getting tired, and I got to be up at 5. So,
all right,
Yep,
Shane.
all right,
yep. No, you're good, brother. See you,
all right.
brother. Thank
See you
you.
See you,
guys.
Shane.
Yeah. See you, bud. Yep. But we were going to finish up anyway. Carrie, last few words, and then two pair close us out like you always do, brother. So yeah.
Another good night. Talking football, talking sports. I mean, we're getting it's here. Everything's
It's here, man.
setting. High school, college, pro. It's like dominoes. Everything's gonna start falling. We're gonna be watching. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. And I can't
I'm
wait to do the
excited.
high school I can't wait to do the high school game day show. And two pair, I'll tell you this, man, if we get to these games early enough and I think our schedules might align, we might be able to do one with the students there in the background or something, when we
Oh, that would
play
be
uh in Alcoa or someone like that
That
in a
would be
few weeks,
crazy.
that we could do a high school game day show live from there. I'm sure the athletic director might give us that permission to do that and to have the students behind us to do it, that would be very, very special for
That would
West High
be
School. So
special.
yes,
That
yeah,
would be
for
dope
sure.
if that happened.
It would be.
I
But
love
two
it.
pair, go on ahead and close us out, brother. Whatever you got, man, and we'll finish it up with that W. So yeah, always.
Man, I thought about this a lot, but I want to give a big birthday shout out to Brian Tate Jr. We share the same name. He's not my son, but we call him the prodigal son on the
Mm-hmm.
show. And just want to, give a big shout out to his phenomenal parents, Brian Tate and Mahogany Jackson, for really raising a fine young man. And
Mm-hmm.
he's at Bearden Middle School. He's a rising eighth grader.
Yep.
And just want to tell him happy birthday. And the one thing about this show is we're trying to highlight our young student athletes as well as the other student athletes at other schools. So we're really mindful of the parents who take their time out to get their kids to these practices and these games,
Mm-hmm.
to the mentors instilling value and character into some of these young leaders in the world. It goes hand in hand.
Yep.
And we're just
Mhm.
really thankful that you take your time out to hear guys come in from a different perspective of being a security guard in a game, being of law enforcement, being the uh, a statistician, a commentator. You're seeing it from all different phases, being former players for the high schools. How did it transition while you're going to college? So
It's true.
we give that format here on Rebels with a Cause and on 332 Studios. So
Mhm.
man, just take a chance to like, comment, and share and subscribe.
Amen. Amen to that. Amen to that. So, well, guys, yeah, absolutely. 100 subscribers, Rebels with a cause. That cause don't stop when the clock hits zero. Throw them dubs up, baby. West this Friday night, Jamboree next weekend against Bearden. It's here, baby. Go Rebels. Congrats, Coach Chandler and the boys. Get it done.
Yep.
We believe
Yeah.
in you. We got you. We got you.
Yep, man. Y'all have a great one. God bless.